thanks for listening. My name is Andre. I'm not a preacher or pastor. I'm just a father with a message. A message that was unfortunately derived from a eulogy that I had to give for my son a few years ago. A few years ago, my wife and I lost our 21-year-old son, and it's been absolutely devastating. This message is called The Great Disconnect, and it actually goes out to those of you who are in ages of, let's call it maybe 12 to 22, which I'll call the now generation, and the parents of those kids. The reason for this message really is because society, things have changed. Generations have changed. And in the past, I know we all said, this generation is different. It's all because, maybe they wore their hair differently, or they dressed differently, or talked differently. But this time it's different. This time it's truly different. It's technology driven. This society has grown up, this now generation has grown up with things that we didn't. Like the microwave oven, laptop computers, cell phones, the intranet. These things all have added a lot of anxiety to these kids. Let me give you a few examples of what I mean. When we were kids, what did we do when we wanted to pop popcorn? Well, what we did is we actually put oil in a pan, put the seeds in the pan after it heated up, put a lid on there, shook it around, and tried not to burn it. Made a little bit of a mess, and then afterwards we'd pour it in a bowl, and then we'd get our drink. Today, what do? We actually go out there and we take a bag of popcorn, put it in the microwave, hit the popcorn button, get our drink. By the time the popcorn's done popping, we have our drink, we go sit down, we don't even need a bowl, we can eat it right out of the bag. No fuss, no muss. Something that took 2 minutes to do today took us 15 to 20 minutes in the past. How about song recordings? When we were younger, we wanted to make our own song recording. We had to go and make recordings off the radio on a cassette tape, which only held 13 or 14 songs. And sometimes that'd take almost a day, maybe even a day and a half to do, because we'd have to wait for the DJ to play the song, hit record, and then hope the DJ didn't talk over the first part of the song and the last part of the song. And that was our song list. Today, if I want to download songs, I can download those same 13 or 14 songs in 5 minutes. So what took us a day and a half now takes 5-10 minutes. How about research reports? When you look at research reports, and what do we do today, or we did in the past, we'd actually go to the library, look up the books on a card catalog system, read the books, and then sit down and write a rough draft. Rough drafts don't even exist anymore, because what do we do today? We would actually go out there and cut and paste off the internet. We Google whatever we need, get the information we needed right there on the spot, add a few of our own words, hit spell check, hit print. We used to have to beg our parents to go out there and type those same reports because they didn't use as much correction tape. They didn't make the mistakes that we made. So what took us over a week to do, now they can do it in half a day. What this has done, what this technology has done, is made a very anxious society. A society of kids that are used to instant gratification. I remember when my son was 16 years old, he wanted something so badly, and I couldn't understand why he had to have it right then and there, right there on the spot. I looked at my wife and I said, gosh, have we just spoiled this kid rotten? Is this what's happening here? And it wasn't his fault. You see, basically what happened is he's so used to getting everything right now at his fingertips. The instant gratification these kids receive today makes a very anxious group of kids. That now generation, when I call it that, is because they want it and they need it right now, because they're used to getting it. Anything they could possibly want, they can get right now. Now the problem with this goes forward. The problem is that now when we have this generation that needs and wants everything and is used to having everything right now, their brains are moving at a much faster pace than what society is, what this world is moving. So what's going on is the problem is that the more they are misunderstood, the more disconnected from us they feel. You see, it's not their fault. They didn't grow up the same way we did. Doesn't give that now generation the right to be sassy and smart off to us, but they don't understand why we don't understand. And we don't understand why they don't understand, because, again, we didn't grow up that way. We didn't have these things. So, with that being said, the whole communication is broken down at that point, and nobody understands anybody, and they feel disconnected. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, that disconnection and that frustration of not feeling like they fit in leads to drugs and alcohol. For those of you in the now generation, let's get something straight right now. You will never, ever, ever find any good answers at the bottom of a bottle, on a belly full of pills, or at the end of the joint. That is not the answers that you need. All that is something temporary that's slowing this pace down so that you can understand and fit in a little bit better, so you can escape reality. What you need is to understand reality. Reality isn't moving at the same pace you are. And as these kids get older, again, we start adding responsibilities, driving, and maybe work, and increased schoolwork. This frustration becomes up more and more and gets built up to the point to where that's where they think they need to go, is drugs and alcohol. Fact of the matter is this. You need to go to your parents. You need to talk to your parents in a good way. Parents, we need to be better at opening up and understanding what they're going through. Again, we didn't grow up that way, they did. The bottom line here is communication. We have to learn how to communicate better. The reason I kind of cut this age bracket off at 22 is because by that time they've understood that they realize that life is moving at a little bit slower pace, and they're fitting in a little bit better. But that anxiousness that your kids are feeling today, the need to have everything right now, is not their fault, and it's not our fault either. But if we can all learn to get along a little bit better, open up the minds of communication, take a deep breath before we start reacting to the situations that are in front of us, and maybe have a little bit more compassion and understanding, maybe we can all get along a little bit better. I want to thank everybody for listening to this. Hopefully this helps. It seemed to help a lot of folks after the funeral when I did the eulogy, and maybe it'll help your family as well. Just want to say God bless everybody who listens to this.